It was pouring rain in Wales. The kind that soaks through coats and ruins perfectly planned events. But somehow, that didn't matter. Because what Catherine, Princess of Wales, chose to talk about that day carried far more weight than the weather. Crowds had gathered anyway. Welsh flags waving. Bright yellow daffodils held tightly against the drizzle. As Catherine and Prince William stepped out, cheers echoed through the gray skies. And just when it seemed their visit was over, something unexpected happened. After getting back into their vehicle and driving off briefly, they stepped out again. For 25 full minutes. In heavy rain, hugging children, giving high fives, posing for selfies. That alone caught attention. But it was only the beginning. Because inside one quiet community hub, the conversation turned deeply personal. At Haffen-yr-Afon, Catherine met with members of Mums Matter, a perinatal service supporting women struggling with mental health challenges linked to early motherhood. And this wasn't a surface-level visit. According to volunteers, she leaned in. She asked real questions. She listened. One of those women was Ella Hopkins, a 25-year-old mother who fled domestic violence with her 10-month-old son. Ella later described Catherine as absolutely incredible. She said you could tell this wasn't just another royal appearance. Catherine appeared genuinely invested, curious, engaged, passionate. And then came the comment that quietly revealed everything. She spoke about how important it is for parents to feel stable themselves so they can be fully devoted to their children. It sounds simple, but it hit hard. Because for years, Catherine has been building something bigger behind the scenes. Through her early years' work, she's consistently emphasized how a child's future is shaped in their earliest moments. And reports claim she believes parental mental health is the foundation of everything. Some royal watchers even suggest this focus signals a subtle shift. A move toward becoming not just a ceremonial figure, but an emotional anchor for families across the country. Of course, that's speculation. But moments like this fuel those conversations. And that wasn't the only powerful scene that day. Earlier, in Llanidloes, the couple visited the Hanging Gardens, a community project centered on resilience and creativity. Catherine described places like it as a lifeline for so many people. Inside, children sang Welsh songs. Nursery kids waited proudly with handmade signs. William sampled cider at a local producer's stall. There was laughter, warm drinks, traditional Welsh cakes being prepared in the kitchen ahead of St. David's Day. At one point, William spotted children holding up an Aston Villa scarf, the football club he supported since school. "That's a great way to get my attention," he joked. It was light, playful, human. But then the visit took another meaningful turn at Oriel Davies Gallery in Newtown. There, they learned about a year-long arts initiative called Hand in Hand. The project brings together local families, including Syrian and Afghan refugees, for creative workshops focused on well-being. Over months, participants created a collaborative tablecloth stitched together from shared materials. A patchwork of stories, of healing. Catherine called it amazing. She spoke about how powerful it must be to make friends and share stories in that way. Children had even prepared handmade jewelry for her, bracelets and beaded necklaces crafted in anticipation of her visit. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't grand. But it was deeply symbolic. Art as therapy. Community as medicine. And when you step back, a pattern starts to emerge. Mental health, early childhood, community resilience, creative healing. These aren't random appearances. They're connected. Some observers say Catherine is carefully shaping a long-term legacy rooted in emotional well-being. Not controversy, not headlines, stability. And in a time when public trust in institutions can feel fragile, that message resonates. Of course, not everyone reads that deeply into a rainy royal tour. But the response from the crowd spoke volumes. Even after the official schedule ended, families stood in the downpour just to catch another glimpse. Children handed over flowers and drawings. Catherine hugged them anyway. Rain soaking through her coat. That final image lingered. A future queen standing in the storm, talking about mothers who feel overwhelmed, parents who need support, communities that need lifelines. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't explosive. But it was powerful in a different way. And maybe that's the point. So, here's the question. Is this the future face of the monarchy? One rooted not in spectacle, but in mental health, stability, and emotional strength? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the stories behind the headlines, don't forget to subscribe. Because sometimes the quietest moments reveal the most.